Hello.
2, 1.
Hello,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone. Welcome to the Woman's Cave.
Yes.
I get to say it today because Jade is sleeping sluggish.
I am sleeping sluggish. Life happens.
Oh, actually, someone got sick and then she had to go take care of that person. And so I wasn't even sure if she was showing up. I'm just happy to have someone to talk to.
Yay, talking to someone.
Because that would have been me talking to myself. And
I'll guess, of course.
And yes, wait, I was going to say doing banter with myself. And that would have been weird.
Yeah.
Okay, now continue. You were saying guess.
No, I'll guess, of course.
Oh, definitely.
Which is awesome. I mean, we met her on the
Virtual Self-Publishing Summit. Oh, nice timing.
Or like we like to call our literary summit that we co-hosted, which was crazy, but it was awesome. So you guys know that we are the And I Thought Ladies, two of them, and I thought, and
I was just about to say, I want to see if she could do this while asleep. And I'm Winona.
And we have 4 books that we have to our names right now. And I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons. And I thought being grown up was easy. And I thought I did my journey alone. And I thought I could juggle it all. See, I mixed it up. But you know what? I haven't had coffee this morning, so I'm going with it.
Of course, when she comes to Winona's house, there is no coffee.
Well, Winona is allergic to coffee, so I understand why there's no coffee.
Okay, we should probably stop talking to each other and start talking to our guests, especially since, you might say something interesting with no coffee and a few hours of sleep last night. We'd enjoy that, though. Or at least I'd enjoy that.
She would, because then she would make fun of me forever.
Okay. Would you like to introduce yourself, our dear guest?
Sure. My name's Judy Lair. I'm a clinical counselor and a leadership development strategist. I help people learn how to look at their lives, look how they lead. Excuse me, I got a little bit of frog too. And help people figure out how to make a life that they love, create a life they love, so they mentor and inspire others to greatness.
Oh, wow.
I like it. Inspiring others to greatness. Always a good idea.
Okay, I am interested in the leadership part because I can't lead, I follow. So how do you take someone who's possibly a follower and help them become a better leader?
Great question. Part of it is the first definition is what is a leader? Because most of the time, if your definition is, it's somebody who has a badge and they say, I'm a manager, I'm a leader, you have a title to something, then you think, oh, well, that's not me. I'm the person that just follows that person. So you have to look at your definition and change that definition so that you feel empowered to be able to walk out your own path. And frankly, Winona, the main part of a leader is that you have a message to give. You have something to give someone, and you want to lead and facilitate their ability to hear that message, to follow that, to see that, yes, that's important to me, and so I want to jump on our bandwagon. So if you change that definition, then actually it's a little easier.
That is very true.
That is interesting and true.
So we might be leaders after all.
Okay,
absolutely. Ladies have a lot of people that are following you. They're following your lead. They want to hear your story. They want to follow the things that you've learned through your journey. That is being a leader. So there are times that we follow other people because they have a story or a passion or journey that we want to follow, but we've got our own. And so if you see yourself in that light, then in that way, then you're thinking, well, then how do I lead well? How do I show them like the bigger picture of what's going on in my life or in the world, or the thing that you have a passion about? And then one of the things you ladies do well in your books is then you talk about recognizing the challenges that might come up in a particular arena because you've been through it, right? You've been through challenges, and you can say to somebody else coming behind you, oh, here's where the challenges will be. So you can kind of give them tips or direct them around some of the pitfalls, or say, this is what it's going to feel like. That's what a leader does. You're kind of looking from the top of the mountain or a little farther out, and saying, this is, I've been there. This is where you can go. But I can give you tips. I can help you to know where to go. So that that ability to instill confidence. I've been there. I know how to walk you through. Come follow my lead and we'll go do it together because I'm a little farther ahead of you. You ladies do that all the time.
Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to say you sound like you read our book, so thank you. Don't say if you haven't, don't just skip over that.
Yes,
just accept the compliment.
Sounds like you did. Yeah, I wanted to say that.
Okay, and then I wanted to ask, like, thank you so much, first and foremost, for pointing out how we are leaders, because I never see us in this way, and other people do, which freaks me out. But how do you take someone who would obviously like not have the leadership, who doesn't see themselves as a leader, and then show it to them and show them how to become a better one?
Right. I love that. So I take people up to, I call it viewpoint leadership. So you take them up to like a mountain peak, or sometimes they say you're up on a cloud, on your tummy looking down, at life, and you expand your view of life. And so when you expand things, you can see more information. Plus, you can put it into, an understanding of what affects what, where it goes. Whereas most folks, they narrow it down very small. Oh, here's an obstacle. I don't know how to get over it, or I'm too scared, or this seems too overwhelming or intimidating. When you expand things, it doesn't seem quite as scary and quite as big, but it gives you another perspective to see, oh, I do know some things. I do have something to share with somebody. I want to lead them in the direction, of either just understanding, and that's what I think your books do, is you give people understanding to a world or a situation that maybe they don't know anything about. Maybe they've never been to it, or it's new for them. So you can lead people by giving them understanding of something that they don't know anything about. Do you see how that empowers you to feel like I'm a leader in that way, because, I'm ahead of them, and whether it's one step ahead or, 20 steps ahead, you're ahead of someone. So therefore you can say, this is the direction we're going because I've been this direction before. I'm a couple steps ahead of you. Let's trudge on. And the next part of leadership is that you need to feel empowered to say, okay, well, even if I make a mistake, even if I'm going a wrong direction, I can just stop. I can go up to the mountaintop. I can re-look again and say, okay, what direction? Where's the obstacles? How we go around it? Come back down to the ground and say, okay, onward, forward. Let's march on.
So you're saying necessarily when people think about leaders, they think about people very prideful, maybe even cocky. You're saying that no, don't be cocky, accept your mistakes. Is that what you're saying?
That's part of what I'm saying. So being a leader is thinking about how you help the people behind you come along with you. How do you help them follow? How do you help them facilitate that? If you're a prideful, cocky person, I know all the answers, they're going to like bail on you. And they're going to say, no, I think I can find my own way. But if you say in this confidence, you instill confidence in others that I've been there, or I'm a step or two ahead of you, or I really want to, be the bushwhacker. I'll take the sword and, cut the vines, and I'll be the one to do that. And you instill confidence in people, then they say, okay, well, I really want to follow you. You've inspired me. And that's the key, at least that I look at leadership is about inspiring people, rather than being the prideful person that you were saying, and just say, well, because I have the name tag, follow me. No, it's inspiring the confidence to say, no, I'm with you, but my job is to go up and look at the bigger picture and then bring you with me the best way there is to go. And when you instill that confidence, it's not a pride issue. It's an empowered issue of I'm taking on that role so that I can go ahead of you. I can see what things we need to figure out or to change or even go around so we don't get into something hard. That's the role I'm choosing to do for my people who are following me, who care about the thing I care, the passion I have, or the thing that I'm taking them to. I'm playing that role for them, and I feel real empowered.
Okay, first and foremost, I would love to say that I love how you were saying how people with experience can do this, because I just remembered how you won the team that won the spy.
Yes,
game.
and I was gonna say we were talking about that off camera. And I said, "Wow, that's not even fair," because you know greatness. Let me show you how.
Yes, experience equals great leaderships, which can lead teams to winning over others at the National Museum Spy Museum. That can work out too.
Yeah, that was a funny joke
True.
we had before we started this, but yeah. And when she was talking, I said, "Well, that person that was with her, that was on the other team, did not stand a chance."
Thank you very much.
Oh, and the other thing I wanted to mention is, like, when you were saying of this, the person that is taking over the leadership knowingly or unknowingly has to have confidence. And I think that's amazing that these people can have the confidence, as well as have to be adventurers. Because I love how you said bushwhacking. You have to be the person out there bushwhacking. So if you want to be a leader, you have to have that hard work, that adventure. And when you do an adventure, you're allowed to make mistakes. All that was statements, and I didn't come up with a question in that. I sincerely apologize. The question literally came my mind. I was like, there are 3 points I want to say in one question. There it goes.
But as you were saying, why do you feel that it's so important to lead by example and not by do what I tell you and not do as I do? No, do as I say, not as I do. There it is. You guys, I didn't have any coffee this morning, so I'm getting there.
Yeah, you're getting there. Well, let me give you an example of one of my clients and the difference between them, okay? So I've had clients at both ends of the spectrum in terms of how they lead. So one of my clients, she was a fairly high middle manager in a company that's fairly large. And they had acquired another company in a different state. And so her job was that she was going to go to this new company and have to do talk to their leadership and say, well, now you're a part of our group and I'm leading. And so therefore, you now need to follow my lead. I know you used to be the leaders here, but now, I'm going to lead this transition phase. And so we had a discussion, she and I, before she went to do that meeting, because her natural tendency would be to do the more walk in and say, I'm in charge, I'm the leader, everybody has to follow me, and I don't care, what you did before, you're going to do what I said to do now. I would not go over so well, with a group of people who have done their own job before. Now they're being incorporated into a new company. So when I gave her this, had her go up on the mountaintop and look down and think about how can she actually bring them along in a way that she inspires them to say they're still going to have a role and a part in this new transition, and she's going to listen and hear to them. The way she languaged all of that was very different. She walked in and she said to them, okay, I know that you've been doing your job, your role for quite some time. I'm sure there's something I can learn from you. Let me first learn from you what you know about your company and what you've done. And then I want to share with you what our company coming in and our vision and how we're going to bring you along and not have you lose all of that, but bring it into what we're doing well so together we can merge and do it well. That was a hugely different conversation than the one that she initially was going to have. So leading well means that you can actually think about how to bring your followers and inspire them to come along. On the other end of the spectrum, I've had a leader that was very much the passive, sort of let everybody walk all over her kind of gal, just because she didn't want to hurt people's feelings and she didn't want people mad at her, and she, tried to take everybody's consensus to everything, and that wasn't actually leading either. She really was not getting up and ahead and being empowered but firm to say, I've seen some things ahead. We all need to go this direction. We can't be going all sorts of directions because we're stuck. We're not moving. If everybody is sort of, everybody's a leader and nobody's an Indian, and following. So we need to be able to look at how do you get in the middle, be this empowered, I'm going to help my folks follow me well and inspire them to do it because I believe in it. I'm telling them that I'm here for their best interest, and then they're going to be, inspired to follow me because they really want me to take that leadership role.
I think it's interesting how there's like two different, like a decision a leader has to make when you pointed those out, and those two different things. One, finding a balance between accepting information, finding the strengths and the weaknesses, and then making those work best. That's the best ideal leader. And then the one where you try to be nice because you don't want to be the annoying boss person that you mentioned at the beginning with a tag, and all you do is sit there and tell people what to do, and you're like, but all you do is like eat sandwiches and you never do anything. You don't want to be that person either. So like finding that balance has got to be ridiculously hard. If I may ask one more question, I remembered the question, by the way, that just escaped. It returned. So the question was, you said at the beginning that you are a licensed clinical.
I'm a licensed clinical counselor. I have a coaching practice. And the new title, ladies, that I have now put on all of that is Leadership Development Strategist. So I help insightful, genuine leaders develop their own personal leadership strategy so they can mentor and inspire others to greatness.
So being a licensed clinical counselor, how does that match with finding a leader? Because you would feel like counseling is inclusive, not push you to become the person in the forefront. Does it conflict at all?
That's a great question. There is a difference between the coaching and the counseling. So what my counseling background, what it does is it allows me to be a better strategist with my clients, because the counseling piece is you have wounds and deep hurts from the past, as you know, and so counseling takes you backwards. Counseling takes you back to the past, to the roots in the past, and helps you, heal those wounds from the past. Coaching takes you in the present, says, where do you want to go? And I'm going to help move you forward to where you want to go. So see how those are two different things. Now, my counseling hat will tell me at times that clients have some issues from the past that maybe they need to resolve before they can move forward, because that's one of their barriers. So when we go up on the mountaintop and we look, to expand what are the challenges and barriers that someone has, why can't they move forward? Sometimes I may point out you might have an issue that you want to do counseling with someone else, because I don't play both hats, with the same client, that you might want to go take care of this issue in counseling because it's keeping you from being able to be coachable to move forward.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to say, I know I'm going to wear this horrible joke out. I apologize. But I just want to say, I so see it now. You've given us insight into your personality and mine. So now I see why you're on the winning team.
Yes.
Just wanted to say. Because if you can go backwards and see where you need to have come from and see where you need to go, you can analyze both sides and make a good decision. How
Never
do you separate
stood a
those
chance.
brains?
It must be hard sometimes to separate those brains, though, right?
I love it, actually. Jade, it is just so natural for me. It's really fun. It really is like I sit here and I'm just like in this humble amazement, truly, with my clients of I know what's going on inside of you right now. I don't know how I know, but I know what's going on up here. And it gives me the ability to say to them, is this what you think? Or is this what you feel? Or is this, what you're worried about? And they say, yes, how did you know? And then I say, well, no, I don't know how I know, but I know. And so therefore, now that we've identified it, let me help you figure out what do you do with it. So it's actually really fun.
Well, I can see that. And then we're going to have to wrap up very soon. But where can people find you for the coaching lessons?
And your books. I believe you have 2 books out, 1 book and 1 to come.
I now have 4 books out.
Oh, wow. I really messed that up.
Yep, I have 4 books, and so you can look under Judy Lair, Lair, on Amazon. I have 4 books that are in the counseling piece of it that talk about, especially 3 of them are in a series, Moving from Fear to Freedom series. on specifically anxiety disorders. That's my main area of practice. In the counseling piece of it, which you can see how that would be helpful to anyone, even in the coaching piece of it. But I do want to offer also in the coaching piece of it, I have some free MP3s that help you to get this viewpoint leadership, to look over, you know, your life in a bigger perspective and look at leadership from a different role, this bigger expanded definition. You can find that if you go to Judy Lair, Lair coach.com/viewpoint. And you can download the three MP3s and be able to just look at your life. They're meditative relaxation MP3s that just allow you to look at your life in a different way.
Wow.
Awesome.
I gotta say that is worth downloading, by the way, you guys. So definitely go to judylayercoach.com because it will definitely help you. /viewpoint, sorry. It'll definitely help you. And it'll also make you recognize how much more you're actually going to need Miss Lair to get where you want to go. I kind of feel that was her intention, but I mean, it's good information as well.
Absolutely. Right. So you guys, we are Jade
and Winona,
and we are co-authors and co-founders of the And I Thought series and the And I Thought Ladies. All that you can check out on Amazon. All that you can check out on andwethought.com. If you're interested in our books, you just go to andwethought.com and go onto the shopping page.
Oh, wow. She did a good job for being half asleep and no coffee. You're going to run out and get coffee as soon as
we're done. Oh, my
goodness.
Right? It's so on. The coffee. I'm going to drink so much of it. Like 3-4 cups. I'm like, oh, my goodness. It feels so good to have coffee.
So I guess we should hurry up and wrap this up. So, as you said, this is Winona and this is Jade. And I would like to say wisdom is all around you.
If you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love from Jade
and Winona. Bye-bye, you guys.